Oh no. I messed it up in my greed. Up, up. Okay. Oh, turn that off for now. There we go. Hello, 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 and welcome to the stream. Today we will be carrying out the second part of Mnestic Experience. We're going to give it till 9 before we get started. Give people some time to get in here and whatnot. And yeah. I did have some technical difficulties here at the very start of the stream, but it's fine. Nothing major, nothing to worry about. Now we just wait for goobs to make their appearance, and then we shall get straight into the game. Hello Ethan, welcome to the stream. It's a pleasure to have you here. Today we are going to be continuing on with the second part of the new Limbus company Intervallo. There will be very much reading to be done, but I am very much ready to do so. How have you been, Ethan? Has everything been well for you? I'll read over the enemies while I'm waiting for it to turn 9. Actually, we could probably start at 8:59, that'd be fine. Yeah. Up. Look here. Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and get started. Straight to the scene. And turn the audio on. There we go, got some of the game music and the rest of the audio that we'll be needing in here now. And let's get straight into it, shall we? We want to go over to this team. I've been doing decent. How are you? I have been doing just fine. I got out and saw my grandparents today, which was pretty fun. What else have I done? Honestly, not too much else that's exciting. Okay. Let's figure out our team composition here. Since we're now using the full team, we're not going to be going for the play strats. We will instead be going for other shenanigans. I do want to get, if I have the option. I do have the option. Very good. Yep, it was very nice. It was very nice. I was given lots of books to read. I intend to give them a look and see if any of them are of interest. I am very lucky that we have one of the event bonus units as a support unit. I am very glad to see that. Okay, so let's put you on field. Let's put you and you. Who else? Actually, we don't really want Otis here since she can't be a benefit. Now I choose between... I'll have you. That works. Actually, no, hold on. Mind that back. Let's take Sinclair instead. There we go. That seems like a much more composed team than it would be otherwise. Meanwhile, Heathcliff's team. Bloody hell, what's up with these gits? They're showing up out of nowhere! How should I know? But judging by their getup, they seem like S-Corp fellas. And things were going so well, we could have talked it out with those Fedora guys who were rummaging around the place earlier, you know. But no, you just had to go barking at them first. Would have saved us a whole lot of trouble if you hadn't, right? Oh, so it's my fault. They looked like they were nicking stuff. This is our contract area, ain't it? If they walked off with something important, we'd be the ones catching hell for it. Listen, bud, not everyone's itching to swipe hair coupons into their pockets the second they get the chance. Ricardo reference is very fun. Oh, for how many bloody months are you gonna milk that? Months? That's been going on for months? Excuse me. What, you got a problem too, mate? No, not at all. Just wondering whether that gentleman over there is also one of our enemies. Hmm? Is that the end of your troop performance? Shame. I was really enjoying watching you folks dance. Might have mistaken this place for a peach blossom land of legends had there been a cup of fine rice wine to go with it. Yeah, that's an enemy, alright. Hmm? He has a name tag, though. I think it says, LCD. LCD or whatever, who gives a toss? Am I supposed to put up with everyone having a dig at me? Fair enough, Heathcliff. Oh dear. Such bold swings. Didn't know there was an encore to that performance. Ha! You slippery little rat. Well, I do find this amusing enough, but if you intend to play with me, you ought to be more aware of your surroundings. Hey, behind you, there's... Wow, he took all those dopo-wearing people with just a single strike. I'd say that about covers the price of admittance for your troop circus, wouldn't you? Well then, I leave the rest to you folks. Wandering blades and Murum tails never linger on the stage for long, after all. Oi! Where do you think you're going? Ah. We get to see a small glimpse of Bamboo-Headed Kim's power there. Very nice. And we are straight into combat with the full team, using Malkuth, evidently. Ah, that explains how everyone's here. Okay. Let's use a combination of things. I'm not seeing a good resonance that we can go for, so it looks like we're just going to go for the standard issue. That's a neutral. Oh, this is neutral just about everywhere except this spot. Favored. Let's use the stronger of the two. And then, do we have any bad hands? Not necessarily. I guess we can do it like this. Although I do want you to clash here for the bonus. Okay. Immediately hitting the tibia melodica. Nice. Now we raise and left the blade. Very good. We don't use Renclair very often, but I am happy to put him back on the field and put him to use. Up. Very good. I could technically start feeding everyone to Arya Shiki, but I find it more entertaining to just let everyone play and build up at the very least. I more so rely on the bonuses of when they die as opposed to just executing them outright. And since we got the support unit Ishmael, we are also going to get some bonus from that. I really need to have her clashing though, she doesn't have any SP gain means right now. I am seeing the opportunity for a absolute resonance, but I'm going to take some karmic consequence for it, which honestly is fine. It's our first time taking karmic consequence, so it's not going to be like the death of me or anything. I really need you to be getting SP, so you need to clash there, and we'll just throw you here. Because why not? This should go twice, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Very good. A little bit of extra damage. We are taking Karmic Consequence because we're not following the prescripts with this, but we are getting the Absolute Resonance, which is going to boost the general team. So it's only a minor debuff to 2 for an overall advantage. And honestly, it might not even be a debuff because it's our first time failing to adhere to them. There we go. Let her clash. Very good. Oh, I didn't actually expect to end up having to clash with you, Faust. Thankfully you have shield, so it really doesn't matter. You're still in your defensive stage. Okay. Go here. Let's go... We don't benefit from Ref. We do benefit from Gloom, though, so we'll go here. And go here. Throw you here, and... Guess we'll throw you here for good measure. Why not? Why not? The answer to most things. Get the triple slash. Acupuncture is always nice. Very relieving, as some would say. How goes the limbusing? The limbusing goes well, friend. Thank you for asking. We just started getting back into it. I did have some technical difficulties starting up the stream, but right now we are doing quite well. I am running the House of Spiders team at the moment. With the change of using the new Ishmael ID for the event bonus currency. And it's working quite well, as you can see. Oh! Well, what the barnacles? Hello, you're not supposed to be here. I guess we're fighting this now. Okay. Where are we? We're back in the building. Go here. You can go here. We want the Pride Resonance. Do we want the Pride Resonance? No, we don't want the Pride Resonance. We will take this Gloom action, and we're going to just overpower this guy in particular, because why not? Got the stagger, and into the triple slash. Very good. Gather them ingredients. Nice. I think we're about ready for the ultimate move for him. We just need to get one of his lust kills. I think we have a significant advantage here, so I'm not too worried. And frame subject. Okay. Ouch. Took a picture of me, that's rude. We did bash. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. I did see the Nagel und Hammer symbol on their suitcases, which also serve as cameras. Very interesting little blend, that. We do benefit from Gloom, but we benefit more from Wrath in this particular instance. Yeah, we can throw Envy. Do that for good measure, and throw you here for a little bit of extra. Who is normally clashing with that? You are. Okay. Very good thing that I got the Wrath Resonance. I think we would have lost that otherwise. Very clear cut. Rolled a 17, not bad at all. Okay, 24. It's going to be very hard for him to beat that 24 roll. Yep. No, we are cut inside of a picture by the look of it. Maybe I should look at that. Nope, never mind, don't need to. It's already gone. Go here. These aren't going to be big deals. I should put you here, actually. No, not there. Here? Yes. Perfect. Alrighty, that should be killed. At least on one of them. Yep, on one of them and stagger for the other. Now this might be kill. Nope, not quite. Oh! Yes it was. Had a hidden fourth coin there that I did see. Looks like that clears that encounter, so we're going to go right back into the reading. So let me get this straight. Dude was here just a minute ago, and now nobody knows where he wandered off to? Yeah, bloke just turned up out of nowhere, flapped his guns, then did a runner before anyone could grab him. Ezra let out a long, listless sigh, as though she was getting sick and tired of even complaining about Ken. Lady Ezra, I cannot say your frustration is misplaced, yet I trust you are also aware that, more often than not, Mentor's actions have carried a profound design. He has never left his post without purpose so far. No, I get it, okay? But, come on, would it kill him to give us a heads up before he goes zooming off on his own again? It's not like we'd stop him. What are we gonna do? Tie him up, lock him in a closet? We don't do that in our team, right? Remember, last time? We all thought he was being a good patient and sleeping it off in recovery ward, but nope. When the LCE infiltrated, he snuck out without telling anyone and came back like nothing happened. And the team leader didn't even shoo him out for that. Lady Ezra, that's... Oopsie, wasn't supposed to mention that, was I? Then the reason he failed to participate in the operation was... simply because the LCD was lax in supervising its personnel. Is that what you're suggesting? Lady Moses bade us to hold our tongues for this very reason. She knew full well Mentor's intentions would be misunderstood in precisely such a manner. What part of this have I misunderstood? Did you not just disclose that the man deserted his post without authorization? That's the thing, he wasn't just wandering around. He was outside, all alone, taking down the ring Ottomankins, who locked down the elevator that leads into the LCE department. Yeah, it's not like he was dealing with the strongest enemy out there, but the recovery ward didn't have an emergency alarm, and nobody from the department was there to warn him either. He somehow just caught on and did the job himself. Huh. Heard it's all thanks to him that the facilities team managed to get the comms back up and contact the LCE chief dude was way faster. And that helped the LCA to actually deploy. They would have been delayed for another hour or two if he hadn't stepped in, apparently. And he went fighting even though he wasn't fully recovered, so he came back looking like he'd been processed through a meat grinder. So, yeah, he did end up staying in bed like a good patient, in a lot of pain. Then the soldier is not entirely deserving of reproach. Nope, He's a less talking, more doing type, I guess. Anyway, we were all stuck inside the building back then during the incident, so fine. I suppose there was no helping it. Today, though, never mind. It's always like this with him. He always slips away and pops back in, saying it's done. My point is, what happens if one day one of those solo missions doesn't go his way and he just drops down on the street somewhere? How are we supposed to help him then? Actually, how does he even know what's supposed to be done in the first place when nobody gave him any instructions? Bloke's gotta be relying on his gut feeling, innit? Gut feeling? Look, I only saw the bloke for a bit, so I can't say I've got him all figured out. He's an annoying guy, but he didn't strike me as some clueless sod who doesn't know where he's steppin'. Heathcliff scratched at his chin, then kept talking as though he were stating an obvious fact. Today's proof enough. He's not one of us, so Clockhead couldn't have reached him from that far and sent him to back us up, and there's no way he just happened to run into us when we were about to get into battle, innit? Then... well, could be bloke's got some stupidly sharp head on him and piece things together. Could be that. But I've got these moments when I get a flash of that gut feeling, however you want to call it. My boss man, Matthew, said he could hear that kind of stuff too. Said, I can hear them gears turning, or I think I hear rats scurrying about. You do things you couldn't make heads or tails of. Listen, there was this one time when we were expecting a life or death fight. Matthew says he can hear them gears turning, walks into a random pub, starts throwing back drinks like he lost his bloody mind. Uh-huh, that does sound like someone who's lost his bloody mind. Back when I was on the ship, some sailors used to drink the barrel dry before battling whales to blunt their fear, only to stumble around on the deck and fall overboard. Yeah, and boss could knock it back like a whale. Still, the point is, getting plastered right before a turf war is not what most sane people would call a good idea. Had us all crossed, so we went stomping after him. And guess what? Turns out that pub was the secret hideout where the opposing syndicate was holed up. They were crowding around the gaffer, running their mouths about how they'll kill him and put an end to the dead rabbits. That's when we came storming in and had them surrounded instead. Not a single one of them got away. We beat them bloody, every last one. And boss knew it'd play out that way. Sorry, but this really sounds like a barstool bragging to me. You sure that wasn't just a coincidence? I should think it was no mere chance. If you are saying as much, then surely this was but one among many such coincidences. Is that not so? Yeah, every time Matthew pulled one of those stunts, our lot ended up growing bigger. Wouldn't have kept working so neatly if it were just a coincidence. It is likely what is often referred to as, indeed, an instinctive sense or experience-based precognition, more accurately, an unconscious process by which information accumulated in the subconscious is sorted and converted into sensible conclusions. There have been some extremely rare cases in which Heathcliff has demonstrated the ability to arrive at coherent conclusions that surprise even Faust. On further analysis, it would appear that he was employing a mechanism similar to a sixth sense, as some people call it. Is that a compliment, or are you taking me lightly? That's how I'm going to reword that. Though my mentor does not see fit to explain each step he takes, when all has passed, I often find that no footfall of his was taken in vain. I would ask of you, grant him but a little time and wait. Keep waiting, and the shape of his intent may yet become clear. Though I confess, I have also been concerned about him as of late. His recent silence is far heavier than what I have noticed in the past. To wait. Don Quixote began, hesitated, then stopped herself from saying more. She only gave a quiet nod. Yeah, okay. I suppose our team leader has her own reasons for letting him be. That said, doesn't mean I'm happy about it. Huh. Let us return to the task at hand and do what we can for now. Fine, fine. As the others quieted down, I finally had room to notice the place we found ourselves in. There wasn't a single ray of light, just a deep red hue pressing in from every side. I can't believe we've been chatting away in the dark this whole time, fellas, and the red lights aren't helping us at all, especially with my aging eyes. Oh, are you looking for the light switch? It's right here. Oh no. And right then... Don't turn on the lights. I heard Merceau's clipped warning, his voice coming from a corner I didn't expect to find. Merceau? Where are you? Ah, there he is, that corner. Is he washing something? I am developing the film roll, manager. Exposure to light might ruin the entire roll. Please exercise caution. So he'd been doing his own thing. That explains why he was quiet all along. Huh, didn't think you'd know how to print photographs, pal. What's that for, anyway? You expressed the wish to have the film developed, manager. I am carrying out that instruction. I see. A photo studio first, and now a darkroom. This may be no more than a conjecture, but it would not be unreasonable to suppose that the axis of this distortion rests upon a photographer. The film's serial numbers match those found in the photo studio or deviate by only a single digit. It is certain that this darkroom is connected to the studio in some way. The images bear a striking resemblance to these photographs. I also believe this building and that photo studio share a strong connection. Oh, where did you get these photos? I brought them from the photo studio. I cannot name the location in the picture with certainty, yet they all appear to have been taken at various places in N-Corp's district. Buildings, mostly. Hey, wait, I know what these are. People take pictures like these when supplying stuff to that department store. Correct. The photos must have been taken by a docugrapher. Mersault chimed in, holding an odd cylindrical container in his hand this time. He gave the container a shake every now and then with a measured rhythm. Whatever he was doing seemed to be the part of the process developing the film. Film rolls are hardly affordable for the average resident in N-Corp. In most cases, taking photographs is done as part of a professional duties. Studies. There are approximately 21 occupations of District 14 that utilize photography. However, only a single profession revolves around routinely photographing specific buildings, adhering to fixed standards that can be observed in these pictures. And these docugraphers you mentioned, are the people entrusted with that job? Yes, they photograph the information to be poured into canned experience. A docugrapher. How could a person of such decently lucrative profession fall into distortion? Decent job, maybe. But how do we know if they're a decent person? Ezra replied with a clear-cut answer after only a brief pause. What makes you say that? The photo studio we were at didn't have any dark rooms, right? No, it didn't. My team leader said there are other ways of processing film rolls, but in N-Corp, you have to go to a dark room to develop and print them. Correct. Film rolls are usually immersed in developer solution to be processed. Which is why the photo studios have these dark rooms equipped with red safe lights right next to them. But this place, it's pretty far from that photo studio. Huh. Yeah, now that you mention it. Check out these windows. They're only covered by newspapers, all messy-like. If you consider how sensitive film rolls are to light, it's really super suspicious that this darkroom doesn't have any proper blackout panels. And you know films can cost a fortune in some places in the city, right? Who in their right mind would print photos in a room patched up with yesterday's newspaper? Oh. This probably isn't even a legit darkroom. Someone just hauled in the bare minimum tools needed to develop film and threw them together in a hurry. Someone who didn't want to be seen printing photos, and people don't usually avoid scrutiny unless they're doing something not so decent. If that's the case, then I can see why they might have distorted. Right? Manager. Rousseau came to my side quietly, still giving the strange cylinder the occasional shake. I have a request regarding your instruction to develop this film roll. What is it? Please ensure that the light in this room is not turned on until development is complete. Aren't we already doing that? Yes, however, engaging a battle opens the door to uncontrollable variables. This is why I have judged it necessary to make a separate request. Battle. There is no need for concern. I am capable of participating in combat while maintaining the development process. Wait, can you slow down? A battle, you say? Surely there must be cause for you to believe so. At the photo studio, reinforcements arrived exactly 11 minutes and 34 seconds after N-Corp's pinframe team staff were defeated. Deductions based on events this far make it clear that the photo studio and this darkroom share some kind of connection. Furthermore, Sinner Heathcliff, Sinner Honglu, and Sinner Gregor have battled N-Corp pinframe team in this very location. I hear footsteps rushing up the staircase, approaching closer and closer. I have a feeling I know what Merceau is getting at, but I ask anyway. Meaning? The initial rinse is finished. The process is now halfway to completion of the second agitation. This indicates that 11 minutes and 30 seconds have elapsed since the start of development. The battle is imminent. Please withdraw to a safe position, Manager. Merceau, you... You should have warned us way earlier! Understood, Manager. I will follow that instruction going forward. Alrighty, straight into the next combat. Photos. Oh. Nope, we skipped that combat. Okay. After the battle, something sits ill within me. Amid the sprawling of S-Corp back streets distorted with a flash, Engdu had her gaze fixed somewhere high overhead. And at the end of her gaze, an earlier warning would not have brought him aura. Very important. Indeed, indeed. It also was not his main objective, so there was no need for it. A long line stretched across the open air, photographs hanging from it like laundry clipped to a clothesline. I mistook it for a warding robe at first and gave it little attention, yet upon closer look, I saw those pictures hanging from the line. Perhaps they had been strung within the dark rooms and remained thus when the distortion took hold. Anything for aura for real. Bizarre. Observation of unaffected enemies in the space occupied by a location-type distortion is most irregular. Indeed, the items we bore from the studio have already changed into images of various sites of S-Corp, yet those alone remain as they were. Let's take them down and check them ourselves. Just as I was wondering if the line was perhaps too high for me to reach, Merceau stepped forward and plucked a few photos off it, and the instant he brought them to me, we heard another pop, and again, a bright white flash blinded my vision for a moment. Oh, the lights are on. Good grief, this distortion likes to change its mind, huh? It keeps switching between S-Corp and N-Corp. This feels like getting caught in a flashbang detonation. My whole body tenses up, then goes slack right after. The other sinners were busy grumbling about the distortion and its sudden jumps, except for Merceau, who stood right in front of me with the photo still held out in his hand. Oh, you didn't drop them. No. He gave his usual short answer, and then returned his attention to the cylinder he had been shaking. He took the film roll out of the container and flicked the liquid off with clean, controlled motions. Is the processing finally done? Wait, we're back here with the lights on now. Is it okay to take the film out? Yes, exposure to light will not damage the film once development is complete, and the image is fixed. There is no cause for concern. That's a relief. I couldn't say I followed all of the technical details, but no cause for concern was all I needed to hear. Sighing in relief, I held up the photograph so I could take a proper look. So, see anything odd in there, Manager Butt? There are people in them. The people in the photographs all look different from one another. If I had to pick one similarity between them, though, they all looked cold and indifferent. Yeah, that's the city, alright. Ordinary folks you'd see anywhere. These aren't like the photos we picked up at the studio earlier. Are these the kind of photographs they use to make canned experiences? What was that? The scenery around us seemed to ripple just now. I was about to ask Faust if she'd also felt a strange sensation, but it faded away soon enough. Perhaps it's nothing serious. Maybe it was just a spell of random vertigo? Is it even possible to get dizzy when I've got a clock for a head? No. Marcel must not have noticed that I was out of sorts for a moment. Must have noticed, because he seemed to pause on purpose before answering my question. No? I thought you said docugraphers take these photos to be put in canned experiences. Raw ingredients for canned experiences are handled exclusively by the Grand Magazian Sisyphe. There is no known method for external parties to access them. Sisyphe? What? Oh, I think I've heard of it. Canned experiences, right? They're in high demand for other districts too, but the only brand stamped on them is Grand Magazian Sisyphe, same name every time. I remember some of my classmates bragging about trying them whenever exam weeks came around. Never had one myself, though. I can't really explain it, but something about them just feels kind of wrong. It's that popular, huh? The unprocessed base content of canned experiences, known as experience batter, is applied to reprocessing factories where docugraphers fine-tune the experience's details. They can fine-tune experiences? An easier example of understanding would be to consider why docugraphers take pictures of subjects such as buildings. A purchaser may wish to experience living in a luxurious building that they could never afford. Another may wish to vent out impulses of violence by experiencing the burning of an expensive property. Demand for haute couture canned experiences increased by the day. So that's why the photos from earlier were all fancy buildings. Yes, Manager. Conversely, information concerning ordinary experience that can easily be encountered in reality is in low demand. Then why photograph these residents at all? Perhaps these were not images harvested for their commodity value, but pure photography in and of itself. Mayhaps they have been captured for a desire to seize a vanishing instant through a lens. There are people who take photographs knowing that it would cost an exorbitant sum. I have seen some before. A staggering amount of money, just to take a single photo, that is, if they could even manage to find a photographer who'd take the risk and help take the picture. I'm not so crass as to put a price on sentiment and nostalgia, but spending this much money on film rolls, what could have made this investment worth it? I'd say... maybe this isn't just a matter of sentiments, or memories even. Leafing through the photographs, I quietly expressed my thoughts. Executive Manager? I'm not exactly an authority on distortions, but I know they manifest through desires or emotions that become warped in bizarre ways. But everything the distortion has shown us so far points back to S-Corp, that is, the S-Corp of the past that only Kim and Ang-do would have seen and remembered. These photos, though, they're completely untouched by the distortion. Doesn't that feel off? There must be a strong fixation at play here, strong enough to slip past even a distortion. And if that obsession is something that refuses to let these memories be influenced, I think our next step should be to look for the people in these photos. These photographs are the only undistorted, unaltered clues we have. Dante says it would be advisable to locate the people shown in these photographs. Ooh, good idea. Team leader did say that we should accept input from the LCB with open arms. Hey, Ang-do, can you get me the office catalog? We'll probably need to commission an office affiliated with 7 Association. Let's look for one that can take the request right away. Could someone tell Ezra we're fine? I think I know where to find those people. Dante says one of the people shown in the photos has already been found. What? When? How? Well, guess I'm just having a lucky day. I pulled the radio from my waist and switched it on without answering Ezra's question. It's Kim. It's bamboo-headed Kim. DWRC? I think she said, do we regroup clock? That one was especially hard to understand. Ryoshu? Rhodia's with you, alright? Can you put her on? Oh, it's Rhodia, I think. Okay. Rhodia, you there? Yeah? What? Dante wants to talk? One sec. I kinda went overboard with the bread and pastries. My hands are completely full over here. Pastries? What kind? Just one of everything. Neat. Can you grab extra brioche and baguettes for me too? Love the ones from that street. They're so good. Hold on, I gotta readjust the pile if I wanna... Guys, lock in. Just throw them on TF. They're packaged. Ryoshu, you can't treat food like that, Kay. Bread has, bakers have feelings too, you know? How do you think the baker would feel if they knew someone was treating their precious babies like trash? The scabbard is rattling again for no reason. Anyways, Dante, can you give me a sec if you need me to fight? Just need to cram these into my pockets real quick. No, it's not a fight. Huh? Then what's this about? I took a closer look at the words written on the wicker basket in the first photograph Marceau had bought me. Where's that bakery you're at? Oh, okay. I really thought the image on the far right was Kim. Okay. Onward to cans. Ah, I know who you're looking for. The owner of the bakery was a woman holding the same wicker basket as the one in the photograph. She took one glance at the picture I held up for her and gave a quick nod. This man, he works in Cannery 17, right next. He's a regular. He used to drop by every morning to buy sandwiches to share with his coworkers. Haven't seen him around lately, though. And those coworkers, I assume they were wearing the same uniform? Asking the question on my behalf, Oda showed the baker another photograph. Probably? He was always wearing one too. I'd guess it's the cannery uniform. This confirms our lead, executive manager. A few inquiries at that cannery should bring us to the information we need. Yeah, you're right, but... It's just that she doesn't seem very concerned at all. She's one of the people in the photos that weren't affected by the distortion, right? Thought she'd be a close acquaintance. Allow me to verify, executive manager. Do you know the name of this regular that you spoke of? His name? Am I supposed to know that? Though I wasn't expecting her to actually know his name, the apathy evident in her voice gave me pause. He took a photo of you. Wouldn't it be reasonable to assume that you're well acquainted with him? Oh, that. The baker's demeanor changed when Otis pressed the point. She gave a strange, unsettling smile before pulling something from her apron pocket. A thin and round, can-like object. He said he'd give me 5 of these canned experiences for free if I'd let him take up my picture. Even said he'd throw in the docograph of the building of my choice. Hello, welcome to the stream. It's a pleasure to have you here, XX4. He docugraphs buildings, right? I hear he even takes work trips to the nest every now and then. Oh, didn't get to read that. I know I'll never get to afford a beautiful place like that, but this way I could at least experience what it's like, and gosh, it was everything I'd hoped for. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but there was a distinct eeriness to that dreamy, blissful smile on the baker's face that sent a chill down my spine. I'm currently playing Borderlands. Oh, that's good. Very fun game. Very fun game. Young Merceau, are these canned experiences truly possessed of such marvels to pluck all semblance of reason from one's countenance? I'm the bad one, though? Oh, which one's the bad one? They maintain high demand across the city. District 14 is only one of several markets. Dost thou mean those who would indulge in canned experiences may experience venturing on an expedition to the Great Lake and bungee jumping off the summit of a skyscraper yonder as they remain seated where they were? They may, however. Oh, a magic can, allowing one to pursue any dream the heart may conceive. Verily, I confess my own soul is much tempted. Pre-sequel? I don't think I played that one. I only really played the originals. It differs from pursuing a dream. Mass-produced canned experiences are made from base experience matter mixed with various modified information. The resulting end product enables intense stimulation through altered memory, and therefore it's unlike the dream as expressed by Don Quixote. Specifically, I think I played the original one with my cousin. At least I believe that's how I remember it, right? I remember fun things about it. A piece of memory refined along numerous processing stages of the cannery's production lines is equivalent to a genuine experience, meaning the experience... Gosh darn it! Memory is altered for these simulations. That does sound quite shady. I could pause, but I'm not going to. How this cast a shade upon the boons granted by the can. Adventures and tales are, forsooth, inclined toward a little grandeur. The first one, it would be better if Meliodas was in it. Yeah. The first one is very fun. Statistics have shown that users of cans interpret them as authentic experiences become a possible cause of the formation of dependence patterns is that canned experiences allow one to feel as if they have achieved a dream that in reality, impossible is in reality. Art thou implying that the users are made content with the devouring forged dreams stored in instant-use cans? Worse still, the user may no longer strive to chase dreams in the waking world. For the sweeter and more splendidly a dream is embellished, the more impossible it will appear to be grasped with one's hands. I believe I played the assassin character in the first one. I don't remember his name. I think it was Zero. To become a cause for surrender, instead of inciting one to march forth, verily doth it not annul the significance of dreaming itself, if the resultant dream rouseth not the spirit to gallop forth? Whether that annuls is significance, I cannot know, but they sell well. So, how much will you be buying? Buy what? Bread, I imagine. You came barging in with all these questions, and I was patient enough to answer them politely, wasn't I? Don't you think you owe me a sale or two? You're not about to leave without buying a single loaf after crowding up my bakery and scaring off my customers, are you? Her case was on point, actually. With our whole group gathered around, the passerbys gave us a wide berth and hurried on, whispering among themselves. Nobody was about to come in and buy a bread like that. Come on, lady. I practically cleared your shelf already, didn't I? You did? Where are you keeping all that, then? You even gotta ask. Of course I had some already, and the rest is safely tucked in my coat pockets so we can all share later. So you already ate some. Let's buy a little more. It's true we scared off the other customers. Understood. Given that the expenses made to facilitate this operation, the lack of prior budgeting should not pose a problem. Oh, nice. Sesame rice bun for me, please. He just spawns in. Huge. Anyways, how are you? I'm doing very well, thank you for asking. It was Kim. He really didn't have a knack for making an entrance at the least expected moments. I visited my grandmother today, and we hung out for a few hours. Very fun. Hey, Mr. Oh. Wait. Hmm? Be cross with me all you like, but just give me a moment. Ezra paused, waiting in puzzled anticipation. Only for Kim to take a sesame rice bun from the baker's hands and chomp into it. Alright, I'm ready. Frickin' waste of bread. Oh, well, he got hit. Ezra's angry fist drove straight into Kim's solar plexus, folding him to the ground like a crumpled sack of potatoes as he rolled away. There's no way Angdu's gonna take that sitting down. At this rate, the owner might start charging us for the whole bakery next, roof and all. Best get away from here. Manager. Rousseau approached me as we walked down the street, with Ezra and Kim still squabbling behind us. Outside of visiting my grandmother, I haven't really done too much else today. He was holding a roll of something brown and tightly coiled. Mostly just been vibing. I have completed development of the film, per your instruction. Oh, so this is the film in that canister you were shaking. Do I just unroll it? Hold it up against the sun or other sources of light. As it is a reversal film, the images should be visible as they were photographed. I had no idea what a reversal film meant, but I did as he said and unrolled the film. Vibing is valid. Indeed. We love vibing. Okay, I can see it. Huh, that's pretty cool. Oh, is it showing? Can I see too? Move it over a bit. Let me have a look too. I feel like we're about to see a very big artwork of all those sinners just crammed together. It was hard to make out details because the images were too small, but I could still tell the strip was packed with almost identical pictures. Is this the same person every shot? In the same pose in all of them? I feel like it's animation. Huh? You're right. No, wait a second. It's an animation reel, isn't it? See that arm there? The further along the strip you go, the lower it gets. Yeah, it's an animation reel. Yeah, and the head looks like it's turning to the right. Huh? We were all squinting up at the tiny frames on the film when Sinclair suddenly flinched and went stiff like he'd seen something he shouldn't have. A second later, all color drained out of his face. Sinclair? What's the matter? This reminds me of something I learned in school. You draw a picture in the corner of a stack of notes or a thick book in the exact same spot on every page. Stop it. What are we stopping? You're good. You start with the arms down, then you make one small change. And when you flip the pages fast enough, the drawings stop looking like separate images, the still figures start moving. You're good, no worries. The class was called Introduction to Motion Pictures. I remember the teacher saying that video footage we watch are all made the same way. Are you saying that this is... It's a continuous sequence of still images. The arrangement of the frame suggests that this film strip is highly likely to constitute footage, a violation of N-Corp's taboo. Oh. Interesting. Alrighty. We are going to Taboo with 2 unknowns. I go now? Alright, you have a very pleasant day, XX4. It was a pleasure to have you here. Bye-bye! Onward to Taboo. Oh, crap. As soon as I register Marceau's words, my hand reflexively threw the film to the ground. Are we gonna be okay? We might have just broken a taboo. My mind began to race, rapidly traveling back through our journey, specifically to the time when Don Quixote has smashed a window at K-Corp and caused the wing to wipe out our team multiple times over. I felt faint. At least we had Virgilius with us then, and it ended up being not that big of a deal at the end of the day, since I could revive the sinners, but some Mnestic boosts can get us in serious trouble just for carrying anything that has to do with them, can't they? I hurriedly turned towards the sinners, many of whom looked every bit as troubled as I felt. Still, a few of them expressed a casual lack of concern, citing all the crazy things we've gone through so far. Miss Faust? What'll happen to us if the manager gets killed? If this gets the manager killed? Okay, so this is it, huh? I feel like this is a bit dramatic. Yeah. Stop freaking out, guys. They're not dying, and we'll be fine. And Corp's not gonna kill you on the spot just for possessing a film roll. Really? Well, it might be a problem if the film roll does contain genuine recorded footage, but it's not like you guys had a hand in filming it, right? When NCorp dudes get here to pick it up, just comply with their commands, thank them for their service, and nicely hand it over to the authorities, and everything should be a-okay. There is a possibility that everything will not be okay. Okay, well, thank you, Marceau. Yeah? Because I have developed the contents of that film roll in the darkroom. Oh. The court will take the lack of intentionality into consideration, however, it's very likely that my actions will be deemed as aiding the primary violator of the taboo. Really? But... Team leader said that NCorp has their own regulatory standards for regarding image quality, which they use to determine the severity of the taboo violation. If the footage's images or quality or frame rate is within regulations, NCorp won't be sticking their fixtures on our butts right away, and that could buy us time or give our company some leverage to make a deal, however small it might be. Because what they're really sniffing around for is how close to reality the video is, or how close of an experience it provides to real life. So, even if we're really, really unlucky and they actually come after us, it's going to be fine as long as the footage is low fidelity, probably. So, what exactly does frame rate within regulations entail? It means that the interval between each frame shouldn't be, like, super brief. Think about photo slideshows. They only show you one image every few seconds, so it doesn't feel real or vivid, right? You can technically call them motion pictures, but there's no vividness required to violate their taboo. Then let us analyze this film roll and see how vivid it really is. Marceau, I trust that you are knowledgeable in subjects concerning NCorp, yes? Cooperate. Could this film roll be considered a violation of the taboo? Otis picked up the film from the ground and showed it to Marceau. That cannot be determined. Unless each frame is thoroughly analyzed and compared with adjacent... Without waiting for Marceau to finish, Otis unrolled the film roll and raised it against the sky. The rest of you, get over here. We must analyze these frames. The film canister was labeled Experiment, so I assumed the culprit had created this as a test run of sorts. An experiment to see how close they could get to the violating a taboo, and testing the limits of the law. It may even be a mere collection of similar photographs that are pretending to be recorded footage. The sinners all gathered around Otis and looked upward toward the unrolled film in unison. Here, the flower pot moves between frames, doesn't it? The docugrapher couldn't possibly have moved the pot while also holding down the shutter button. I don't see any difference. It's See here, the expression written on the subject's visage appears rather stiff. Maybe they're just a gloomy sort? Perhaps, yet observed closer, the stiffness arises not from the gloom, but the strain to maintain it. Ooh, if that's the case, maybe the subject really is trying to fake an actual footage by moving very, very slowly. That's a pretty convincing theory, but I'm not sure if that's enough to conclude that we're in the clear just yet. That's when Bamboo had Kim, who had been sprawled on the ground ever since Ezra punched him, stepped into the conversation. Let's see. Look at the shadow cast on the windowsill. See how it noticeably shifts between each frame? Whoever made this knows their craft for sure, but I can't imagine a backstreets dweller would have any way to mess with the sun's trajectory. And the likely scenario must be that the creator of this film role deliberately made its subject move very slowly from the frame to frame, creating a series of disconnected photos that, when played sequentially, would look like footage that violates the taboo. In which case, this film roll does not violate the Nest taboo, correct? That is highly probable. So he says, Executive Manager, we should be in the clear for now, at least in regards to aiding the violation of a Wings taboo. Whew. But if he was willing to go through this much trouble just to test N-Corp's patience, it's hard to believe that he'd have stopped here. Based on all available evidence, Executive Manager, it seems reasonable to conclude that the inflection point of this case is a taboo violator on the run. Huh, but what motive would they have to do that? Sure, working for a Wing subsidiary has nothing on being an actual Wing employee, but it's still pretty up there when it comes to careers available in the backstreets. Work for a subsidiary long enough, and you might even get transferred to a factory job in the Nest. That gives you a pretty okay chance at a better life, so... maybe he was just tired of living that kind of life. Everyone has one of those days, don't they? The sudden feeling that you could be doing more than live the rest of your life in 9 to 5? The drive to do something that takes you away from the pressure of trying to make a life? Something about what Ishmael said must have tickled Bamboo-Headed Kim, because he suddenly whipped around toward her and shook his head. Maybe, but how many of those people do you think are capable of throwing away everything they've built on a whim? From what I've seen, maybe our culprit is just likes to play with fire. Play with fire? Yeah. Must have started by doing something that technically doesn't count as a taboo, and inched on and on until he brushed thrillingly close to one. One thrilling shot through this camera, and another with the next. Until eventually, he ended up recording actual footage. Yo, his VTuber model is updated. Let's go. Thank you! Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am very happy to have this model. My modeler put a lot of work into it, and I am very proud of her for that. Might have been trying to screen it as using a projector. What? But wouldn't that make everyone here, even those who unwittingly came across the projection, right on? It'd have had to make those folks violators of the taboo. But why would anyone? So, would you care to explain how you know that, Mr. Breadbrain? I asked around on the opposite street, and apparently some guy's been going around asking the workshops if they could make him a projector. Seemed like most of them turned him down, but they also said that he stopped showing up after a certain point. Fair to guess he got his hands on a projector somehow. Alas, it is not a taboo of N-Corp. Is it not a taboo of N-Corp to view recorded videos? Pray tell, why would anyone of a sane mind? Well, it ain't taboo if you only made a projector in it. Backstreets blokes are down for anything long as there's coin. Huh. So how do we track this guy down? Multiple individuals in the same garb as the Pinframe team have just been identified in the vicinity. They are all carrying the same briefcase. Oh, well, isn't that just convenient? Maybe we can play this like a festival or a convention and just tail people who look like they are involved with what we're looking for, so they'll lead us to wherever we need to go. Indeed, at architecture conventions, there would be those in formal plaid shirts and suspenders literally milling about, and I could always trust them to lead me to the convention venue. Okay, well, I have a moment. Welcome to the stream, Aldi. It's a pleasure to have you here. Uh-huh. And it's common for those plaid shirt fellows. Oops. Did they also go around checking people against photographs? Our collect evidence, please advise for. They also radioed each other, glaring at people like they're glaring at. Huh? Perhaps you could answer that series of queries yourself. Nope. This crowd sure don't look like they're gonna let us follow them. Better luck next time. Okay, into the next combat encounter we go! Alright. Ooh, very nice. Pride Absolute Resonance and a Lust Absolute Resonance right off the bat. I love to see it. I imagine this combination should do us wonders. Even if we take a little bit of damage. Where's that? Right there. Nah, unopposed. No well. And frame subject. Oop, quick little bonk for good measure. Nice. Oh. Alright, looks like we are overall winning our clashes right now. The only thing we have to worry about is triple slash not going through properly. Which it may not, hard to say. We will find out. Nope. Very close to winning. Good try. Tremor, ouchie. Bop. Okay, overall pretty good. Not liking our odds though. What does this effect do? Intelligence gathering. When a skill of identical rank to the skill photographed, clash power -5. Defense skills and ego skills are counted separately. Triple slash. So if we use triple slash again while this effect is active, we are in for bad experience. That's fine. We just need to ball. You're not photographed, are you? No. Let's use this here, since that has a lot of weight behind it. Not what I wanted to use. I wanted to use this, and I want to use, I suppose, this as well. Struggling. Oh well, it's for the prescripts. Nice. Big stagger. Ba 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 ba. Onward we go. I should really let my allies be of assistance as well. We do have a picture taken of us, but it doesn't matter because we're not using the same skill. Bop. Very nice. Now we hit them with the big attack quick skill, which should do quite a bit of numbers for us. Now we are likely to lose this clash, which is fine, because we just needed to use the skill. We didn't necessarily need to win the clash to get the advantage. Okay. I guess you can go here. Yeah, you can go here, 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 You're unopposed to everything. You're attacking Ezra. Ezra has a lot of HP. I'm not too worried about it. Nice. Now we're getting some SP recovery. That's definitely gonna handle that. Pressing Dervish. That's good. Starting to get up there in SP for the most part, aside from you, which is an issue I'm going to have to resolve somehow. Let's do this. We can actually get opposite resonance here. That's good. I think I should like you to go here. Like you to go here and here. And we'll throw you here as well, because why not? Nice. Ooh, big damage. Welcome back, XX4. It's a pleasure to have you back. We are fighting some of the N-Corp staff members right now. Specifically Class 2 staff. Shouldn't be too long. Oh, yeah. Yes, indeed. Procuration annihilates. And bada bing. Could have been a better roll, but it wasn't bad. Ouchie. Give me lots of damage there. Go here, go here. Sure. We get Gloom Resonance off that, and we're also about to get Lust Resonance, so... kinda hard to be bothered. Where are you going? You're going toward Foss? That's fine. Lust is still in defense mode. Bam, 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 and finish it off. Nice. This should go twice, so I actually think it's going to kill him here. Oh, no, it didn't go twice. You're about to do big damage, though. Yep. Very good. Ooh, you have a second skill, too. I'm on the Let's Build a Robot army in Borderlands pre-sequel. Just met these things called Torque Thinglets. I haven't a clue what those are, but they sound fascinating, to say the least. Oh gods. Hello, Mare. Welcome back. It's a pleasure to have you here. Okay, should be finishing this up. Oh, you just added that? I see. Honestly, though, it wouldn't surprise me if in Borderlands they did have an enemy that's called that. And or a unit that's called that in general. NPC or otherwise. Alrighty, clear rewards, nice. Oh, okay, we have cleared the second part. We will be picking up next stream with Pursuit, and it looks like we're going to be fighting more people, alongside a bit of storytelling, maybe? Not sure, I think that's the storytelling symbol? Yes, I believe it is. Yeah, very much so, sounds like something that would be there. In any case, let's back out for now, and let's see if we can get anything, shall we? I believe we have... looks like 3 pools that we can do. You think we can get something at 3 pools? Let's find out. They gave the enemy some stupid names. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Yep, we have enough for 3 pools. Let's see if we get anything. I already saw you saying, which is a foreshadowing of this being ideal. I believe it will be ideal. I believe we are going to go to the very last one and get a 3-star. Watch. We're gonna get it. I believe in it. Come on. Aww. Not ideal. Not ideal in the slightest. Well, in any case, that will be concluding part 2 of the Intervallo stream for Mnestic Experience. It was a pleasure to have you all here, and in the next stream we will be concluding Mnestic Experience. I'm not sure if I will stream myself farming the currency to get all the stuff here. I probably will do most of that off screen. I might do it like 1 or 2 times, just experimenting with different teams if I have the capacity to do so. But other than that, the next stream will be the conclusion of this Intervallo. So, with all of that in mind, I will see you next time. Take care.